Once upon a time, a witch loved stories galore, and greedy as she was, she wanted more and more. When she saw that the librarian had stories of all kinds, she said, "I'll capture you, all your stories will be mine." There took place a curious chase through meadow, tree, and flower, till at last they ended up right at the witch's tower. Now poor Marian, the librarian, a prisoner she'll stay, until the witch is happy and lets Marian go away.
Hi, I'm glad to see you. Today we have to get a story about two friends. Remember, Kerfumbly said that she had a friend she was going to invite over here, and they both wanted a story. I don't think her friend is here yet, but we might as well get started anyway, right? What are you doing in there?
Waiting to scare you.
We both love to scare people. That's one reason we're such good friends.
Oh, Marian, this is my friend, Witch Griselda.
Oh, well, how do you do?
Oh, it's just my toy snake, Grum Grum.
Oh, Griselda, that was such a funny trick. We both like to play tricks. That's another reason we're good friends.
And most of all, I just like Kerfumbly.
And I like Griselda.
Well, I can certainly see that you two are good friends.
Oh, and there's one more thing we both like. We both like stories.
And I know just the story for you today. It's a story about two friends. They like to do things together. They like to play baseball together. And they like to fly kites together. And they sometimes like to wear the same hat. So let's turn the machine on and see if we get a story about two friends. And it's called Jimmy and Joe Find a Ghost by Sally Glendinning. What can we do today? Jimmy asked Joe. Joe put down his book. Let's do something new, Joe said. Let's look for a ghost. Maybe a ghost lives in our treehouse, said Jimmy. Let's look, said Joe. The boys climbed up the big tree. They saw a squirrel eating a nut. They saw a bluebird sitting in her nest. There's no ghost up here, said Jimmy. Let's look in the woods, said Joe. The boys climbed down from the treehouse. They walked to the woods. They saw a brown rabbit and a red fox. They saw a green frog and a yellow duck. Do you see a ghost? Asked Jimmy. No, said Joe. Maybe the ghost lives in a house. The boys walked to an old, old house. There was no door. The windows were broken. Let's go in, said Joe. All right, said Jimmy. A ghost wouldn't live in this old house. There's a cat, cried Joe. Meow, went the cat. Then a mouse ran by. The cat wanted to catch the mouse, but the mouse ran away. Jimmy and Joe laughed. Then they sat down in two broken chairs. No ghost lives in this old house, said Joe. Mr. Jones has a new house, said Jimmy. Maybe a ghost lives there. If I were a ghost, I'd live in a new house. The boys ran down the street to Mr. Jones's store. They found Mr. Jones. Good morning, he called. Here's a big red apple for each of you. May we look for a ghost in your new house? Asked Jimmy. A ghost, said Mr. Jones. There isn't a ghost there, but you can look if you want to. Jimmy and Joe ran to the new house. The door was open. Come on, Jimmy, said Joe. All right, said Jimmy. They went into the house. They saw a table and chairs and boxes of books. This is a pretty room, said Jimmy, but I don't see a ghost. Then they heard a noise. What was that? Asked Joe. Then something went flippity-flop, flippity-flop, flippity-flop. It must be a ghost, cried Jimmy. A blue chair came flying from the hall. Wow, yelled Joe. That's a bad ghost. The ghost made a noise again. Flippity-flop, flippity-flop, flippity-flop. I'm scared, said Jimmy. So am I, said Joe. Jimmy and Joe tiptoed into another room. The boys looked around. In the room was a big bed. Let's hide, whispered Jimmy. Let's hide under the bed. The boys hid under the bed. They could see the door. A big red ball rolled into the room. Maybe the ghost wants to play ball with us, whispered Jimmy. I don't want to play ball, whispered Joe. I want to go home. Let's go home now. The boys came out from under the bed. They saw something big and brown go by the door. It began to climb the steps. Flippity-flop, flippity-flop. It has on a fur coat, whispered Jimmy. A ghost in a fur coat. It was quiet for another minute. It was very quiet for another minute. Then a yellow box bumped down the steps. That bad ghost, cried Jimmy. They could hear the ghost. It was moving around, flippity-flop, flippity-flop. Then there was a new noise. Splash, splash, splash. That's water running, said Joe. Then something went splash, splash, splash. Jimmy whispered, the ghost is taking a bath. And then water began to run down the steps. My shoes are all wet, said Joe. So are mine, said Jimmy. Jimmy looked at Joe. What shall we do? He asked. That bad old ghost will hurt this new house. We better go up there, said Joe. I guess so, said Jimmy. Jimmy and Joe tiptoed up the steps. They were very scared. They could hear the ghost splashing in the water. Ah! Cried the ghost. Look out! Cried Jimmy. A cake of green soap came flying at them. The soap hit Joe's head. Then came a toy boat. The boat hit Jimmy's head. Jimmy and Joe climbed to the top of the steps. They walked to the door of the bathroom. That ghost might hurt us, whispered Joe. Just then the ghost made a big splash. The boys got wet from head to toe. Let's catch that ghost, cried Jimmy and Joe. Now the boys were angry. They were so angry that they forgot to be scared. They walked into the bathroom side by side. And then they began to laugh. The ghost in the fur coat was in the bathtub, and it was big and brown, but it wasn't a ghost at all. Our ghost is a seal, shouted Jimmy. Why, it's Susie the seal from the zoo, laughed Joe. Susie went flippity-flop, flippity-flop, flippity-flop. She was happy to see the boys. Is Susie stuck in the tub? Asked Joe. Oh, no, said Jimmy. Susie could climb out if she wanted to. But Susie doesn't want to get out of the tub. Come on now, Susie, said Jimmy. Susie splashed some more. Well, I'll ask Mr. Jones to come here and help us, said Joe. Soon Mr. Jones came back with Joe. With them was a man from the zoo. The man had a pail of fish. Susie ran away, he said. I must find her. They went up to the bathroom where Susie sat in the tub. The man held a fish near Susie's nose. Susie wanted that fish. She went flippity-flop and jumped out of the tub. Susie ate the fish. Then she wanted more. Mr. Jones and the boys and the man from the zoo went down the steps. Flippity-flop, flippity-flop, down the steps came Susie. Susie looked at the fish. She wanted more fish. The man put the fish in his car, and Susie climbed in after them. Then she put her head out of the window. She looked at the boys. "Well, there goes your ghost," Mr. Jones said to the boys. Jimmy and Joe laughed. Now we have a ghost story to tell at school," said Jimmy. "Yeah," said Joe. "Susie is our ghost." Jimmy and Joe were good friends, just like you two. Now, let me see if you were really listening to the story. Ready? What did Jimmy and Joe want to find?
What? A ghost?
A ghost! Oh, good. Yes, now, where did they first go to look for a ghost?
Where?
In a treehouse.
In an old haunted house.
Why, yes, that's right. Now, where did they finally go to find a ghost?
Where? Oh, Mr.
Mr.
Jones' house?
Yes, Mr. Jones' house.
Very good. And when they got there, what happened then?
A chair flew through the air.
Yes.
And water came down the stairs.
Oh, good. And when they went upstairs, what did they find?
What did they find?
A seal?
Oh,
A seal.
Very good. And what did they do with the seal?
What did they do?
They took her to the zoo.
Yes.
Took her to the zoo.
Well, very good. Well, that's the story. I'll just be going now.
Oh, she can't go yet. I want more stories. Marion, wait. You promised you'd get me one more story.
Well, I just did. A story about two friends.
Oh, but this story isn't for me. Why, this is for Griselda. Oh, for me? Thank you.
Kerfumbly, you tricked me.
Why, no, Marion. Why, you want me to be friendly, don't you? So I have to give it to my friend. Besides, I know just the kind of story I want next.
What would that be?
A biography. Well, a story about someone's life.
A biography? Would you look for a biography? And I'll meet you here next time.
Once upon a time, a witch loved stories galore, and greedy as she was, she wanted more and more. When she saw that the librarian had stories of all kinds, she said, "I'll capture you, all your stories will be mine." There took place a curious chase through meadow, tree, and flower, till at last they ended up right at the witch's tower. Now poor Marion, the librarian, a prisoner she'll stay, until the witch is happy and lets Marion go away.